5 10 officers.
3 walking gunshot wound victims.
Gun violence continues to take the lives of people across our communities. 6 were killed and 12 more injured in a mass shooting in Sacramento. While not so in this incident, ghost guns are making it easier for those responsible to avoid justice. According to the Brady organization, ghost guns are firearms that can be bought and assembled at home. They're often sold as ghost gun kits.
Very light assembly here.
Because the frames or receivers of these guns are not fully assembled, they are unregulated and do not have a serial number. The sale of ghost guns has increased significantly in recent years. Not surprisingly, the use of ghost guns in crime has also increased.
How many more brothers and sisters, babies, friends, neighbors must we lose before change comes? I'm tired of going to funerals.
Assemblymember Mike Gipson, himself a former police officer, says that in Los Angeles alone, during the first half of 2021, authorities confiscated 863 ghost guns, a 400% increase over the same period in 2020.
This bill will provide and bring us one step closer to justice.
Gipson has introduced Assembly Bill 1621 to increase public safety by further restricting ghost guns and the parts and kits used to build them.
Assembly Bill 1621 will stop the sale of any ghost gun products, which means that any unfinished frame, receiver, or firearm precursor parts will be covered by not only my legislation, but also the executive order by our president.
The legislation halts the sale of unfinished parts with a contingency on them being treated as firearms by the federal government and serialized by federally licensed entities. Gipson has felt the impact of gun violence firsthand. His son and his fiancée were shot days before Easter 2021 while walking to the market.
They were met by gunfire. My son was shot twice in the back. His fiancée was shot in the leg. This is what keeps me up at night. That some mother or father who's going to receive a knock at the door by law enforcement saying that their son or daughter had just been killed.
Nicole Williams sadly received one of those calls.
My son Antonio Maurice Wilson Jr. was shot on Vermont and 43rd, leaving a restaurant from picking up dinner. There was a drive-by shooting that took place, and my son was caught in that drive-by shooting and was shot multiple times and died 16 days later due to his injuries. His case is unsolved.
Police says Antonio was an innocent victim caught in the crossfire of rival gangs.
The people that committed this crime that murdered my son are still on the streets. This can happen to you. This can happen to other family members. Tony was an artist. He was a music artist. He was a musician. He was a writer. His career had just started taking off. He was not a gang member. He was not violent. He was not involved in anything that he should not have been involved in. He was a father. He was a loving brother. He was a sibling. He had many friends and many supporters and many followers through his music. And now he's no longer here.